I am moving slowly through the Amazon rainforest at dawn, carrying my field backpack and camera, focused on cataloging tree canopies after a night of rain. The air is heavy with humidity, and the forest is alive with movement, but nothing feels urgent yet. My boots sink into the wet soil as filtered sunlight cuts through the dense leaves above me. I stop near a fallen log to adjust my equipment, and that is when a sudden burst of blue crosses my field of vision. A blue macaw lands hard on a low branch in front of me, feathers ruffled, wings partially open, breathing fast. The blue macaw is not calm, and its movements are uneven, as if balance is difficult. I straighten my posture and observe carefully, aware that I am a biologist and that wild animals do not approach humans without reason. The blue macaw tilts its head, fixing one dark eye on me, then shifts again, exposing part of its body where the feathers are bent unnaturally. The blue macaw flaps once, unsuccessfully, and the branch shakes under its weight. The surrounding rainforest remains dense and green, vines hanging, insects buzzing, distant birds flying freely, while this blue macaw stays close, refusing to leave. I notice that the blue macaw hops closer along the branch, closing the distance instead of escaping, its body tense, wings trembling. I remain still, my heart beating faster, realizing that this behavior is not random. The blue macaw leans forward, stretching its neck toward me, then retracts, repeating the motion as if insisting. There is no sound, no cry, just deliberate movement and sustained eye contact. I understand in that moment that the blue macaw is not fleeing from danger but seeking intervention. In the middle of the Amazon rainforest, surrounded by towering trees and deep shadows, this blue macaw is choosing me, silently asking for help. I shift my weight slightly, and only then do I see what the blue macaw is struggling against. One of its wings is tangled in a thin but strong nylon fishing line, the kind often discarded illegally along Amazonian rivers. The line cuts into the feathers and presses against the joint, restricting movement every time the blue macaw tries to flap. The blue macaw attempts to lift off again, and the fishing line tightens instantly, pulling the wing downward and twisting the body at an unnatural angle. The branch bends under the sudden strain, and the blue macaw loses balance, barely managing to cling with its claws. The effort leaves the bird visibly exhausted. I scan the surrounding rainforest and realize the danger is layered. The ground below is uneven and filled with sharp roots, fallen branches, and insects. If the blue macaw falls, the wing could snap completely, or the animal could be left helpless on the forest floor, exposed to predators and infection. The humidity makes everything worse. The fishing line is slick with moisture, gripping tighter against wet feathers. The blue macaw's breathing becomes more rapid, chest rising and falling fast as panic builds. Time is no longer neutral here, and every failed movement increases the risk of permanent injury. I feel the limits of my position clearly. I am alone, far from a research station, with limited tools and no immediate veterinary support. Any sudden movement could scare the blue macaw into struggling harder, tightening the line even more. Doing nothing, however, means watching the situation deteriorate in front of me. The blue macaw looks at me again, eyes wide and alert, body trembling from strain. The message is unmistakable. The danger is immediate, escalating and irreversible if I hesitate too long. I know that the next decision I make will either stabilize this moment or push the blue macaw closer to a fatal outcome. I move carefully closer, every step measured, knowing that one wrong motion could push the blue macaw into a fatal attempt to fly. The Amazon rainforest feels tighter now, the sounds louder, the space smaller, as if everything is pressing in on this moment. The blue macaw shifts again, its injured wing dropping further, the muscles trembling under the strain of holding its own weight. I lower myself to the ground, keeping my body small and non-threatening, my eyes fixed on the blue macaw's posture. The branch bends again, more this time, and I see how close this situation is to collapse. If the branch breaks, the fall could shatter the injured wing completely. If the blue macaw panics and jumps, it will not survive the attempt. My hands move slowly toward my emergency field kit, every motion deliberate and visible. The blue macaw reacts immediately, feathers tightening, body leaning back, balance nearly lost. For a split second, the blue macaw spreads both wings instinctively, and the injured wing fails, folding inward under its own weight. That moment freezes everything. The blue macaw slips, claws scraping against the bark, body pitching forward. I react without thinking, extending my arms just enough to create a stable surface without grabbing. The blue macaw drops onto my forearms instead of the ground. Its body light but rigid with fear. The weight is unbalanced, the injured wing pressed awkwardly against its side, and I can feel the tension running through the blue macaw's entire body. I stay perfectly still, controlling my breathing, aware that sudden movement could cause further damage. In the heart of the Amazon rainforest, with no margin for error, this decision changes everything. The blue macaw is no longer about to fall, no longer forced to choose between pain and death. For the first time since it appeared, the blue macaw stops struggling, held in a fragile pause between danger and survival. I secure the blue macaw gently against my body, using my field jacket to stabilize the injured wing without applying pressure. The blue macaw remains calm, its breathing slowing as it realizes it is no longer in immediate danger. The Amazon rainforest continues around us, unchanged, but the crisis has passed its breaking point. I move carefully through the forest, step by step, maintaining support under the blue macaw's body. The injured wing stays protected, no longer pulling against gravity. The blue macaw does not struggle. Instead, it allows the movement, trusting the stability I provide. At the edge of a small clearing used for research access, I prepare a transport crate designed for wildlife emergencies. I lower the blue macaw inside slowly, ensuring the injured wing rests naturally and securely. The blue macaw settles into the crate, feathers relaxing for the first time since we met. Hours later, under controlled care, the injury is stabilized. The wing is supported, the pain managed, the risk removed. The blue macaw is alive, alert, and no longer alone in the forest with an injury it cannot survive. Days pass, and I return to the same region of the Amazon rainforest. The blue macaw is released back into the open air, wings tested carefully. It lifts itself from the ground, strong enough now to fly again, blue feathers cutting cleanly through the green canopy. The blue macaw circles once above the trees, then disappears into the forest where it belongs. I remain standing in the clearing, watching the space where it vanished, aware that this encounter has changed both of us. The Amazon rainforest closes in around me once more, but now it feels whole again. The blue macaw is free, the danger behind it, and the silent request for help has been answered.